everyone, welcome to What Valerie Makes. I'm Valerie and this is my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about everything that I made in January and also a little bit about why I wanted to start this channel. And yeah, let's get started. So I'll start with what I'm wearing actually. So this is the Paper Theory LB Pullover. I made this in a size 12 and I got this fabric from Joann probably maybe a few months ago at this point. But yeah, this month was all about making cozy, warm things because I don't know where everyone else is in this moment, but I live in Buffalo. And in Buffalo, it's cold in January. So I made all the things cozy and I was really excited about it and I'm very happy with this version. I have made this before and I wear it all the time. So it's like, I need to make another one. So I have this this fabric in my stash. Like I said, I've had it for a few months now, not really knowing what I was gonna make with it. But I do have a bunch of this fabric left, so you'll probably be seeing it made up into something else. Maybe a bodysuit or something, because it's really super stretchy and warm. So that's the first thing I made in January. And again, this is the LB Pullover by Paper Theory. So the second thing that I made in January, excuse the cat and dog hair all over it, but I basically pulled this out of my laundry basket because I've been wearing all of these and I was like, the YouTube video, I want to show everyone what I made. So I pulled it out of my laundry basket. But this is actually my favorite t-shirt pattern. It's the Closet Core t-shirt, which is free on their website. I love it very much. I've made like t-shirt crop top versions for the summer, and then this was the first time that I made like the cropped long, like 3/4 actually, 3/4 length sleeve version. So I'm really happy with how this came out. I made the little patch pocket and I cut that on the bias so it gave it a little bit extra visual with the stripes. And then I also got this fabric probably a year ago now from Blackbird Fabrics. And I had gotten a bunch of this fabric too, so you'll be seeing another shirt that I made with this fabric here coming up. But like I said, I was all about basics and like cozy layering pieces this month, and this has definitely been worn quite a bit since I've made it a few weeks ago. Also, it was the first time, I really love their instructions on this pattern, and with my t-shirts, I didn't bother doing the binding on the back collar, but I actually find that it like gives it a really good professional finish. And I was really happy with, like, it didn't take much more time to do, and it's really comfortable to wear, and you don't like feel that seam like on the back of your neck. So at first I was like, I don't know if this is actually worth it, but trying to do new things and kind of make things, slow things down a little bit, really take my time and maybe perfect some stuff that I would just be like, it's fine. And that is definitely one of the things, but I'm really happy that I did that, and I'm definitely going to be doing that with the other ones that I make coming up. I think it's worth it, and I really like the outcome, and it is very comfortable in the back of your neck. So yeah, that's really cool. Love their instructions, love that there's an option for that. So that's another thing about this shirt. Sticking with the Closet Core patterns, I made for the first time the Mile End sweatshirt. I made View B in a size 8. My measurements would really actually put me in a size 12, but when you look at the finished garment measurements, it is like made for like a oversized fit, but I didn't want it to be like too big on me, so I sized down to a size 8 just based off of the finished garment measurements. I love it. I have a few things that I want to say. So here it is. I'm really happy with how it came out. I really was excited to try this pattern because there's a few people on YouTube and on Instagram that I follow that have made a bunch of different versions, and I'm like, that's gonna be in my cozy January plans. And I'm happy that I have it, and I do have plans to make more. So that's happening. But so yeah, I made a few B. The modifications that I made was I did lengthen it. I'm short, I'm only 5'2", but I do have a very long torso and just like really short legs. So I had to lengthen this sweatshirt. I think I lengthened it, I think 1.5 inches. I'll have to make better notes next time, and I have it written down on my pattern pieces, but yes, I think I lengthened it about 1.5 inches. And then also based on the finished garment measurements on the instructions, it said that the sleeves, I think came out for the size that I cut out. It said to measure from the top of the shoulder, like to the neck, down to the wrist. And that was, I think it said like 28 inches. And mine was 24. So I was like, oh, I'll shorten it a little bit and then see how it goes, or like see how it is. And if I have to shorten it more, I will. But that's not true, because I shortened the sleeves on my pattern pieces and then I made it, and this is just at my wrist, and it should have been a little bit longer than what I would have normally have liked, but I wanted to try it out first, seeing it was my first time making it. So I'm definitely gonna put the pieces back how the pattern was drafted, because that will be perfect, because I shortened it 1 inch, and at that length it would have been perfect, like the perfect size. And it's fine, and I really like it, and I wear it still, but it's just that one thing that's kind of annoyed me, because I'm like, that's not true. That wasn't a true measurement, unless I'm doing something completely wrong, and if I am, you can let me know. But it has a specific measurement from like where to do it, and I did it, and it just didn't measure up. So that was one thing about this pattern. I made this in a size 8, like I said, and then I also got this fabric from Minerva. It's their like fleece back sweatshirting material. Really love it. I got a few more, well, funny story there, but I did get, I have this same sweatshirt fabric in navy. So I'm going to, and I got more of the navy. So I think I want to do another sweatshirt, View B, which I really like. I like the little cute detail on the bottom where it kind of cinches it in with these drawstring in the front. So I'm going to do another one in this navy that I got. But I also put in this cute Made by Me label that I've had in my stash. I really like this one. And then I put a cute, just like rainbow heart patch that I got at Joann for very cheap. But I saw it and I picked it up and I was like, I'm going to put this on my sweatshirt. So I did, and I really like it. So that's the other thing that I made in January. The next two things that I made are the same pattern. It's the Nico top by True Bias. And I cut out the size 12 and I did the same view. So the Nico top is a pattern that you can either do, it's all the mock turtleneck, but you can do it sleeveless, you can do it with sleeves, and then you can also make a dress. I have made this in the long sleeve dress version, and I really do like it, but I was new-ish to sewing and I used like a really heavy material and I find that I just sweat too much in it. So I haven't been wearing that as much as I like. Maybe I'll cut it and like make it a top and then it won't feel as like heavy. I don't know. Another day for that. But I have made this pattern before. Very straightforward. Fits really nice. I like the different views. It gives you a lot of options. So I really like this pattern and I really like true bias patterns in general. So, but I made just the long sleeve top versions. And this one I actually wore last night, so it's a little wrinkly, but anyways, I pulled it out of my laundry basket to show. But yep, so this is my first one. This is a very lightweight knit fabric. I believe it's bamboo. It's super soft. I really love it. It's been in my stash for a while. This is one of my favorite colors to wear. I think it looks really great on me, and I just haven't known what to make with it because I have such a large cut of the fabric, but I was like, at least I'll make one top out of it and then I'll decide on the rest. So maybe it'll just be a bunch of closet core t-shirt patterns for the summer. But maybe also I think I have enough to make the Nico dress. So maybe I'll remake the dress in this fabric because it's a little bit lightweight, more lightweight than the like heavy rib knit that I made the dress out of the first time. But so maybe I'll make the full Nico dress out of this, the leftover of this fabric. I don't remember where I got it. I feel like I got it from Blackbird Fabrics with the same order that I got the striped from, but I don't remember. And I could go look back, but I didn't, so sorry. But that's my first Nico top that I made in January. And then here's the fabric again, but in a turtleneck. I've been wearing this a lot. I love to wear this like under, I got a new jumpsuit from Lucy and Yak. It's like a denim zip up short sleeved jumpsuit, and I've worn this underneath it. It looks really cute. I've worn like sweater vests over it. I put it on when I just need an extra layer. I really like it, and I love stripes, and I really love like this pale pink and brown, and then the background is more of a cream than a white. So I really like that color combination, and I like that on me, and it goes with a lot of stuff that I have in my wardrobe. So, and on this one, I put a little "you can't buy this" label that I had in my stash. If I remember, I try to put labels in a bunch of the clothes that I make, but sometimes I get past the point where it's easy to put one in, but I remembered this time, so I have a little label in this one. But yeah, just again, the Nico top in a size 12, and Blackbird Fabrics is where I got this fabric from. It's a cotton knit fabric. Very much love this one, and very much wear this all the time. And then for some dopamine sewing, I made the Indigo dress by Tilly and the Buttons, and that's right here. I made it in this really beautiful Fabric Godmother fabric that I got at the Knitting and Stitching show when I was in London in October. I had this and I wanted to sew something spring-like because it was really dark and gloomy, and I had just made a bunch of like turtlenecks and sweatshirts, and I'm like, I want to make a fun floral dress. So I made this, and I also was determined to use like every strap of fabric that I had. So I ended up making, no, a string. I ended up making the sleeves with the frill. That's not the correct term. Let me tell you what it said. Oh, it does say frill. Okay. I made the dress with the gathered seams. That's not true. I made the dress with the frill seams and flounce sleeves. So I did all of the things that you could do. I also added the ruffle on the bottom because I felt like I had like pretty decent sized strips of this fabric left. And so I just sewed them together and was like, let's just add it to the bottom of this dress. So that's what I did. But I made the size 5 in Tilly and the Button sizes. I did size down a little bit based off the finished garment measurements, but I kind of wish that I didn't. Like, it fits really nice and I really do like it. I'm excited to wear it in the springtime. And then also maybe for Valentine's Day coming up. This might be a cute Valentine's Day dress. But I do find that when I've seen the indigo dress on other people, I kind of like that oversized fit. And I think that this is just like it. I can slip it on no problem, but it is a little tight in the chest area, but it like looks really nice still. So I think it just depends on the look you're going for. I have no problems getting it on. It fits great. It's just a tiny bit, I wish it was just a tiny bit looser. And next time when I make it, I'll probably do the size 6, which is what the package says that I should probably make. Yes, that's what it says I should make. So I think I'll just size up to the size 6 the next time. But like I said, I kind of wanted to see. I've never made the indigo before, and this was my first time. So wanted to give it a go. And it was really a pleasant sew. Like, it was nice to do that after making like turtlenecks and sweatshirts and stuff like that. So I was really happy to make that one. And it looks really cute, and I'm excited to wear it in the spring / for Valentine's Day coming up. I also had, this fabric is pretty see-through. I didn't really worry about the skirt because I always wear like little shorts underneath my dresses anyway. But I did line the bodice with like a lining fabric that I had in my stash. But it makes it really super cozy and slick, so yeah, that's the only things that I did to this one that were different. I added the frill and I added a lining to the bodice. But the instructions were wonderful, and I really love Tilly and the Buttons patterns. I've made a few now, and I'm going to be making at least a couple more of her patterns. I have them in my pattern stash. I'm looking at them right now, so I'm excited to sew those up. So the next couple of things that I made are not items of clothing, but I did make this bag. This was just from extra scraps of fabric that I used to make a quilt for my new nephew that's coming into the world in April. I'll talk about that next, but I used the scrap squares that I didn't use and like patched them together to make this bag. And I've been carrying it ever since I made it. It's like the perfect size. I just throw in everything that I need. I had this cotton webbing in my stash as well from a previous project. I lined it with this linen blend that was also in my stash. I did make a button-up shirt for my partner in this fabric. And then I also put my What Valerie Makes label. My partner got me a bunch of these for, I think for no reason. He just got them for me. He's a sweetheart. But I put my What Valerie Makes label in them and the little pocket. And like I said, I've been carrying this around since I made it. I really love it. And I'm thinking about just like making everyone I know one of these because it's a great gift. And when I made it, everyone's like, oh my gosh, I would want one of those. Oh my gosh, I would want one of those. So maybe I'll just start making a bunch, and then if I need a gift for any reason, I have something to give. But it was really easy. I just kind of did my own thing, and it worked out really nice. So that was another thing that I made in January. And then the last thing I made was a quilt. I don't have it because I gifted it to my sister-in-law who's going to have a baby in April. And I'll put in a picture of it now. But I'm really happy with it. I am not a quilter. I'm barely a sewer. Like, I just learned how to sew a couple of years ago. When the pandemic first happened, I needed something to do at my house, and I had the sewing machine sitting here. And I was like, well, I guess now's the time. So I started sewing just a couple years ago. And now, well, 3 years ago now. Wow. But I am not a quilter. I have been thinking about doing a little bit of quilting because at some point I'm not going to need to sew many clothes for myself because I'm going to have a whole wardrobe of things that I've sewn. So I have been thinking about getting into quilting just to do something when I don't need any more garments in my wardrobe, because I just don't want to keep making things to make things. So I had been with my scrap fabric, instead of just throwing it in a box, which I had been doing. I'm like, I'm going to try to use up this fabric. If it's not big enough for something, I'm just going to start cutting squares and putting them aside. So I had a bunch of squares that really matched, and I was like, well, let's make this quilt for this baby. So I didn't look up anything. I just started putting them together with the knowledge that I know of sewing. It's not perfect whatsoever. And then when I got to the end, I was like, oh, let me watch a video now. And I've done so many things wrong. But at the end of the day, it looks really cute, and it's for a baby, and it was my first time, so I'm really happy with it. It's super cozy. It's super soft. I'm really happy about it, and I'm really happy to gift that to my very first nephew. And when I see it, I look at all of the things that I made with it. I've made sweatshirts and house coats and a bunch of stuff that's just like cozy and warm. So I'm happy to pass that off to him, and I'm really excited to become an aunt for the first time in April. So I was happy to gift that to my sister-in-law. So those are all of the things that I made in January. And I wanted to talk now a little bit about why I started this YouTube channel and what my thoughts are about sharing this stuff online and joining this wonderful sewing community here on YouTube. So during the pandemic, I started sewing, and while I was looking up tutorials on how to make like tote bags, because that's kind of what I thought I was going to be doing, because I did a lot of hand embroidery, so I was making like embroidery hoops, but my thoughts were, oh, I could make embroidered tote bags, so make like little patches with like hand embroidery on it and then sew up these tote bags, and that is why I started sewing. So I started like looking up tutorials on different ways to make tote bags, and then I came across some sewing YouTubers. And the very first sewing YouTuber that I came across that really captured my interest, I really loved her videos. I really love her videos. And she felt super relatable, and it was a great moment in time for me to start watching those, I believe. And that's Janelle from Rosary Apparel. I bet a lot of you know Janelle. And if you don't, you should go check out her videos. She's wonderful. But I remember stumbling across one of her videos, and I think it was one of her things that you can sew in like 10 minutes. And so I came across one of those videos, and then I just like looked at her channel, and she had a bunch of garment videos, and I was like, is garment sewing something that I want to do? And then from there, I stumbled across Lauren Johnson, and her videos are really great too. She had, I think the very first video that I came across from her is the wrap skirt, like self-drafted wrap skirt that she had, and I made that, and then that was it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna sew my own clothes now. But from her, she had a step-by-step video on how to make this wrap skirt based off of your measurements. So that's the very first garment that I sewed. And then from there it just went, I'm like, well, now I'm gonna make a dress, and then just went from there. But those two people on YouTube really sparked something in me. And then of course YouTube gives you all of these suggestions since you've been watching these sewing videos, and I'm very grateful for that, because then I came across a lot of my favorite YouTubers are from the UK. So sewing YouTubers are from the UK, and so I came across Amelia from Sew Amelia. I came across Kath by Made by Kath Craft, and my girl Roanne from the Yorkshire Sew Girl. They're all wonderful, and I love watching their videos every week, and they are really the reason why I thought that I could even share my own story here on YouTube, my own sewing journey. So really, I think the sewing community, specifically on YouTube, is something that like is very inspiring, is very welcoming. I feel so drawn to these videos and so drawn to these people who are so like open and vulnerable, sharing their makes, sharing their failed makes. So after about a year of going back and forth about whether or not I want to start a YouTube channel, and the thoughts of, why would anyone want to watch me? Why would anyone want to watch what I have to do? I decided, why not? You know, all these people did the same thing. They said, why not, and took a chance. And I love watching their videos, and hopefully I can be that for someone someday. So I think that's it for me. Thank you very much for clicking on this video and listening to me rant and listening to me talk to you guys about a little bit about why I started this YouTube channel. But if you have any questions for me, or if you want to know more, let me know down in the comments below, and I will try to answer those for you. And going forward from here, it's probably going to be a lot of what I've made, what I'm thinking about making, probably some fabric hauls, and also just some life chat stuff. So if you want to know a little bit more about me, you can ask me anything down below in the comments, and I'll get back to you guys. I think that's all for me today. Thank you again so much for watching my very first video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you next time.